ALZN could possibly be seeing a huge bounce in the future. So if we assume ALZN's 5 times undervalued and we go off of their current closing market price, that would put them about... Hey guys, welcome to DreamCoin, where we show you how to invest for a better tomorrow. My name's Tyler, and today we're going to be going over the Alzamend stock IPO, otherwise known as ticker ALZN, how their price action moved through their public listing today, and my personal predictions for their future based on their competitors in the Alzheimer's space. To look over what they do specifically, it's more than just Alzheimer's treatments, even though that's what a lot of people connect with them. They're also dealing with using the same treatment that they're using for their Alzheimer's therapies to see if it has any efficacy in bipolar disorder, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. That main treatment is a lithium-based treatment where lithium has been shown to help with a bit of neuroplasticity and allowing for people to build up their immune system to degradation in cells and things like that. If we look at the Depression and Bipolar Support Alliance website, they state as well that areas with a lot of lithium in the water supply tend to have a lot lower suicide rates than other parts of the world. And in a clinical setting, a lot higher doses could have more benefits that extend just past improved cognition and mood therapy for people that are receiving it. The second treatment that they're using and developing to see if it has any efficacy in patients with Alzheimer's is going to be AL002, which is a cell that is sensitized by a mutant peptide that they've developed. And what this would do is target the patient's immune system response for stimulating the body to develop its own immune response over time. And it would help in prevention and breakdown of beta amyloids, which would usually come about to bring plaque into the brain, which is the onset of where a lot of Alzheimer's and different neurodeficiencies come from, is just that buildup of plaque in the brain. And if we look at how their pipeline is set up, they've got a lot of potential catalysts that could help send the price going higher over the long-term period of time that I'm looking at as an investor. Due to the fact that they're all kind of synced up where they are in the trials, I would assume they're going to put more focus on the Alzheimer's end, but anything that could help stimulate a reduction in depression or bipolar disorder or PTSD are going to be great for people as well, and is going to give them even more of a launch over the next period of time that they look to get this data out. Trading commenced today for ALZN, and they were issued 2.5 million shares with a common stock price of $5 a share. This brings the total share count out to about 85 million in the marketplace right now, and they've been listed at about $1 billion in market cap based on this IPO setting and where they're currently trading. To start the day, they were trading about $30, which would put them about 6 times higher than they were IPO priced at, and then they slowly tapered off and dropped under into that $20 range after it was halted a couple times. Ever since, for the majority of the day, they traded between a channel of about $11 to $16 depending on the time of day. They went into close around $13.45, and this is where I'm going to be analyzing them going forward. At their current trading price, they have a market cap of about $1 billion, and this seems like it would be a lot for a company that's new off of IPO, but if we take into account their competition and their market space and who they're going against, we can look at big companies like BIIB or Biogen. Even though the data was controversial for what was gone off of for the FDA approval, I think Alzheimer's and neurodeficiencies in general are fairly significant for getting treatments out. There's a very large lack of treatments in that space for pharma, and so I think the FDA is going to be looking to get a rotation of more approved drugs out, especially if they have regrets on the approval of the BIIB treatments. And I think this opens up a lot of market space for companies that deal in Alzheimer's and other different types of neuro issues, where ALZN could possibly be seeing a huge bounce in the future if they get solid data out. If we look at the competitors for ALZN in the Alzheimer's market space currently that are trading publicly, BIIB has a market cap of about $59 billion right now after their FDA approval and at the current price that they're sitting at. And Sava, which is another Alzheimer's stock that's been on a decline for a little bit, is trading about $3 billion right now, where at their peak price of $130, they were worth about $5 $5.2 billion for market cap. If we want to be conservative with ALZN, this could put them about 5 times undervalued, even just comparing them to Sava, without even getting into comparing them to BIIB. If we look at the IPO price of $5, which IPO prices are generally very undervalued for where stocks usually trade once they actually go public, they could be possibly $25 or higher at fair value currently based on where they're sitting in market space. If we want to go further and go off of their current price levels, this would put them about $60 or $70 depending on how many shares are actually active out in the marketplace and where they're headed. So if we assume ALZN's 5 times undervalued and we go off of their current closing market price of $13.45, that would put them about $67 of fair value for their stock price. Now, what I think is going to be huge for them is the fact that they're dealing in other areas besides Alzheimer's too, so they're very diversified in the different kinds of stuff they're working on. If their first treatment, AL001, is successful in not only giving positive data for Alzheimer's, but also the other key areas like depression and PTSD and all that kind of stuff, this is going to help propel them forward because they're basically going to have a singular treatment that could be used for a variety of different cases, which is both cost effective and also less risk for people looking to seek treatments, because we'll have a lot more data points on one treatment rather than somebody having to use a whole bunch of different things and seeing how they conflict with each other during current treatment. What I'm going to be looking for is a possible market cap over $10 billion. And what this would put them at long term would be roughly $125 to $130 from current levels. I think this is fairly reasonable with the rise of Alzheimer's companies in the last couple years and how the first treatment in the last 20 years was just approved by the FDA for BIIB. And I think this is just the beginning of a large rise in a lot of these different companies. So if we can get a lot of positive data out from them soon, this is where I'm going to be looking for them going forward into the next couple years. Now, I do want to give the caveat that they are going to be a lot more high risk right now, especially with them just going live where they could fluctuate a lot in price. So enter at your own risk going forward. If you either like the price here or you want to try to wait for it to drop, there's no telling how they're going to be trading over the next week, especially with the market being mostly red with some of the Fed talks that have been happening. But if you believe in them long term and you're willing to buy this to kind of sit on it for a year or two and just see how they're going over time, I think this is going to be one of the more sound investments that you can add to your portfolio. I appreciate your guys' support on the last few videos. You guys have been insane with some of the feedback you've been giving, and we've had a lot of people having a lot of success in the Discord. So make sure you're in the Discord, which I'll have pinned in the comments and linked in the description for you if you're interested in joining a community of investors and traders and talking during the market day with us. And other than that, that's going to do it for me in this video today, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.